Portrait photographers. Are you a portrait photographer who wants to shoot less and make more, but the industry has told you that you have to do a whole bunch of shoots, like 20, 40, 60 a month to make the income that you want? Well, in this video today, I want to reveal to you how I was able to make $1,400, $1,400 yesterday from only two clients. And I want to show you the three moves I made that allow me to do so in my photography business so you can do the same. So, if you don't know who I am, my name is Jalen Dorsey Mitchell. I am a beauty photographer and also portrait photography coach. And I was thinking about yesterday how I was able to get, make $1,400. And I'm like, okay, we made $1,400 yesterday. Okay, but we only made it from two clients. And I come from making like $1,400 and having to shoot six, eight people in one day to hopefully make that. But this go round, this time I didn't do it. And as I was thinking about this, I was like, okay, there are three moves I made to do so. And I want to come on live and share with you guys the three moves I made to do so. So you can go ahead and make those moves as well for your photography business. So move number one is actually going to be three M's. Okay, it's three M's. All right, let me go ahead and give you the three M's, and I'm going to go ahead and break it down to you. Okay, so the three M's are model, market, and mindset. Those are going to be the three moves I made in order to make $1,400 yesterday in my portrait photography business. My model, my market, and my mindset. So let's break all of these down. Number one, your models. So I remember back when I used to do photography back in about 2019, 2019, 2020, 2021, all the way up to 2022. The way I did photography was this. I would have a Acuity website. Clients would go on that website and they would choose a package. And they would choose a package. The package would come with a certain amount of images. And I would do their photo shoot session. And when I do the photo shoot session, I would deliver all of the final images to them. But I also would give them all the raws. Well, and I would probably make about 150, 200, $250, 300, $350 per client. And that model is called the shoot and burn model. Basically, where you take a whole bunch of photos, you deliver them, you deliver a certain amount of images to the client, retouched, and then from there, you also deliver them all of the raw files in the gallery. That was the shoot and burn model. Okay. Now, the problem that I didn't know I had, but I know that I had now as I look back, is that with the shoot and burn model, you run into the problem of being capped on how much money you make. So like I told you guys at the start of this video, we as photographers, we have families. Like you probably have family that you want to tend to, you want to be with. And doing a whole bunch of shoots, even though the industry tells you that, you're looking at it like, I don't want to have to do that. I would love to shoot less and make more. So with that being said, as a shoot and burn photographer, the problem I would run into is I would be capped on the amount of money that I would make. So once somebody booked the package and they knew they got three images with that package and they paid $300, it was a little bit like their mind was set on that's all I'm paying. That's it. So with that being said, it was a little bit harder for me to sell them more retouches. Like some clients impulsively would buy more retouches because my retouches were about $25 at the time to buy extra. So impulsively, clients would buy more retouches, but they already had this mindset of I'm paying this package. I'm only going to spend this amount of money. Okay. Now, so that was the shoot and burn model. That model capped me in how much I can make. It wasn't until I switched my business model in 2022 to something called in-person sales. So if you don't know what IPS is, IPS stands for in-person sales, and it's simply where your clients pay a session fee to secure their session, and then they purchase an image collection and artwork after. Okay, so when I made the switch from shoot and burn to IPS, what started happening is my clients would pay a $200 session fee for me to lock in their date, lock in the studio, and secure me as their photographer. And then at the end of their shoot, they would choose a image collection package with 10 images, 15 images, 20 images, 30 images after the shoot, and they would pay for that separately. So we would have clients that come in for their maternity photo shoots, and they would pay $200 for the session, and then they would pay $2,100 for a 10 image collection. In total, they would pay $2,300 for a photo shoot session for me. And I want you guys to understand this. I would literally go from like I used to make about $200 per client when I was doing shoot and burn, and I had to shoot about 10 clients to make $2,000. Literally in 2022, when I made that shift and I focused on in-person sales, and I made that shift, I changed my business model. I was able to make from one client $2,300 in one session, which is equivalent to 10 clients at $200. Now, maybe you drop in the chat if you're watching this live, or drop in the replay chat. Would you rather have one client pay $2,300 or 10 clients pay you $200? See, me, I noticed that I wanted to shoot less and make more. So with me wanting to shoot less and make more, what I found that I needed to do was I needed to change my business model. So the first thing I did in order to hit those 1K day, and the first thing you can do to hit your 1K day, is change your business model. You want to switch from doing shoot and burn to in-person sales. And I know a lot of you may be thinking, oh, I don't want to have to sell. Isn't that extra work? And then we're going to get into that on number 3, because number 3 might be the most important one of all of these, honestly. Like if you only did number 3, and I'm looking to make sure this is going live on Instagram as well. If you only did number 3, like your business will exponentially change with the amount of money that you make. Okay, so with that being said, I just realized, okay, we're going live on Instagram now. So with that being said, you guys have to understand that if you change your if you change your photography business model, you will then be able to make more money. So that's the first move you can make. Now the second move you can make is this. So I remember I was just when I first came back, I've been a photographer again after leaving for almost 3 years for 36 days. And I did something where I did a giveaway. And on that giveaway, what I did was the people who didn't win the giveaway, I went and I did a phone call with them to sell them a different offer for those people that didn't win the giveaway. So with that being said, I hopped on the phone with about 15, I counted 15 people. And there were two types of people who came on those calls. The first type of person was, so remember, I am a branding photographer. I'm a beauty photographer for beauty brands. So with that being said, and okay, I'll make sure I go live on Instagram. With that being said, I found that there was two types of people that came on that call. The first type of person that came on that call was the beauty brand who was just launching. Okay, they had just started their business. They haven't really made sales. Maybe they were just kicking it off. That was the first type of brand. The second type of brand was the beauty brand owner who had already maybe sold out before, or they already was going to pop-up shops and they had motion already. Now, when you think about those two different brands, I want you to drop in the comments below or drop in the replay. Which brand do you think booked with me? Because out of those 15 people, 4 of those people booked with me. But between those two brands, the new brand versus the established brand, who do you think booked with me? Well, if you guessed it right,
right?
the
Brand
brand that
that
booked with me is the brand that was already
established.
established. Every
Every brand
brand that I talked to on all
all
15 of those calls, they
that
were
were new
newer brands. They were just
just started.
starting out. Those brands did not book with me. And it made me realize this, that who I targeted determined who booked with me the fastest and the easiest. Okay. So what am I telling you? You can increase the amount of money that you make and have your first 1K day by just changing who you target. Who
You
you
target.
think about it.
Would
Would you sell food to
to
a
a
person who just ate? No, they probably wouldn't buy it. But would you sell food to a person who just got drunk at a club? Do you think they would buy? Yes, they would. Yes, they would. So what I'm telling you is this, is that who you target will allow you to make more money in your photography business. So let me give you
an
an
example
example.
that could apply to you.
And
And
I
I
see
see
you
you
are
are
going
going
live.
on Instagram right now.
Let's say that you're a graduation photographer. And there are different types of people who graduate, right? We have the children that graduate from
From
kindergarten,
kindergarten, we have the children that graduate from
fifth grade graduation. We have
the
the
kids
kids that
that graduate
graduate from
from
high
high
school
school,
graduation. We have the kids,
kids.
the people that graduate from undergraduate school.
Then we have the kids that
That graduate
graduate.
from graduate school. And then we have the kids that graduate from, and they graduate and they get their doctoral degree. So
So
when
when
you
you
think
think
about that, every type of person, every type of graduate is a different type of person. So if I asked you who is more likely to pay you, what would your answer be? Well, you shouldn't choose the middle school graduate because the middle school graduate doesn't even have the money to pay you, and their parents are probably not going to pay $500-$600 for a graduation shoot. A lot of you are choosing the high school graduate, and a high school graduate is booking you right now three, four, five, $600. Their parents are paying for the shoots. They're looking to spend money on their baby. Almost nobody, except one person, I know Stretch Life, he targets the college graduates. They pay a little bit more money. And then almost no one is targeting the PhD graduates, the people that are graduating with their doctoral degree. But let me give you a little pointer.
if
If
you
you
were
were
a
a graduation
graduation
photographer,
photographer,
you could
you
make
make
more
more
money
money.
targeting people who are graduating with their doctorates versus people who are graduating with a high school degree. Let me tell
That's
you why.
why. Because they
They
have
have more buying power. What is buying power? Buying power is they
basically
basically
have
have more money to spend. The older,
like
like statistics show,
of the world, like the
the
older
older you are projected, the older you are, it's
project
projected to be in sync to the amount of money that you make. Okay, which means you
have
have more
more
money to spend, more disposable income to
spend.
spend. So if you were a graduation
Graduation photography.
photographer and you focused on PhD graduates, graduating with their doctoral degree, you would be able to make more money because you're targeting a
Higher level of person
who has more buying power, but
who
who
also
also
has
has
more
more
emotional
emotional
attachment
attachment
to
to
their
their
achievement.
achievement. The kindergartner doesn't really have emotional attachment to graduating kindergarten. The fifth grader doesn't really have a lot of emotional attachment graduating fifth grade. The high school graduate, they just ready to get out of high school. Their parents have the emotional attachment. That's why their parents more so pay. Right? You follow me? But the PhD graduate, the one who spent all that time in school, they have more emotional attachment to their achievement, which means they will be more
More
likely
likely.
to pay. So in every niche, right, if you do graduation, there is a level, there is a hierarchy of pricing, hierarchy of people within that niche. If you do birthday, well, guess what?
You get somebody
To pay a 16th birthday person is going to pay less than an 18th birthday person. The 18th birthday person is going to pay less than the 21st birthday person. A 21st birthday person is going to pay less than a 30th birthday person. A 30th birthday person is going to pay less than a 40, 50, 60th birthday person.
You see where I'm going with
This, the higher up you move
in the ladder.
guess what happens? The more emotional attachment that person has
To
to
the outcome.
turning 30, turning 40, turning 50. And
Guess
guess what
what
happens? Even let me tell you guys
This, like when I was an attorney,
attorney photographer, I found that
really expecting
expecting couples spent more money than single moms with me. More buying power. So if you want to have your first 1K day and you want to be able to make money faster and easier, well, the second thing you have to do is you have to change who you target. So number one,
what I
it
did
was I changed
my
my
model.
model. I
I went
went
from shoot and burn to IPS.
number two, I changed my market.
I
Focused on moving up the level of hierarchy within my niche. And just kind of clarity on that, I could focus on new beauty brand owners who make some sales here and there, or beauty brand owners who sell out every time they drop. Think about it. These people have more buying power. Okay? So you want to target the level of people who have more buying power. And when you do so, you are able to hit those 1K days because guess what? You make more money because they have more money to spend. Okay? So once you change your model and you change your market, the third thing you need to do is you need to change your mindset. So I'm gonna tell you guys
a personal thing that happened yesterday that contributes to me being able to hit
this money,
make the $1,400 from the client yesterday. So the client yesterday came to a session and she had to purchase an image package.
my
Image
image
packages range from $1,000 to $2,300. And what me and her was trying to decide was which image
package she was gonna go with. So as we were trying to decide that, the first thing I have all my clients do before they choose their images, I have them first. We need to separate all of the images that you like versus the ones you don't like. So the first thing I did,
I had her
out of all the images we took at our shoot, 5 star the images
you like,
so we can only go through those. Okay, once she did that, the next thing we had to determine was how many images she absolutely wanted to walk away with. And she had 19 of those images. Okay, so since she had a 19 image package, she was going to have to invest into my platinum package. But what I guided her on, what I sold her on,
was the fact that
how much money do you have to invest right now in your images? So we kind of narrowed down some of the images. We added some images. We even worked out a deal for her next photo shoot to transfer over the amount of money she would pay over time. And all of that was the act of selling. All I did was I guided
my client
to making the best decision for their business. And a lot of you photographers, you guys think selling is salesy. You think you're not good at selling. You feel like you just want, you feel like you can only just post and go. Or you don't have to do all that to get people to pay you. Well, you have to understand this, that you're selling all day, every day anyways. You sold your boyfriend on why he should become your boyfriend. You sell your wife on what y'all should eat at night. You sold your wife or your husband on why he should marry you, right? Everything we do is sales. It's just that there's a negative connotation around money where portrait photographers, they feel like, oh my gosh, I can't ask for more money. But literally, I mean,
let me give you an example of
what you could do. If you were to remove the mindset that selling is scamming, you implement the mindset that selling is actually serving, not forcing, what you could do at your shoot the next time, rather if you do in-person sales or shoot and burn, what you can do next time is this.
Before you have your shoot,
ask your client
this one question.
question. What do you plan to do with your images after we do the shoot? Okay. They're going to give
Give
you
you an answer.
So let me use my use case. I'm a beauty photographer. I work with beauty brands. My brand say, hey, we want to use the images to put on our Shopify site and showcase every color of our scarves on that Shopify site. Okay. The next question I ask is, well, how many scarves do you have? How many colors do you want to showcase? Let's say the brand yesterday, she wants to showcase 7 different colors of scarves. Okay. So that means off top, I know she's going to need at least 7 images. So I say to her, well, okay, we know you're going to need at least 7 images. She's like, okay, yeah, that makes sense because I have 7 scarves. Then I ask and I say, okay, are you only going to want to show 1 image per scarf? Like only a head tilted back with the scarf image, or you want to show like face cards? Oh, well, I do want to show an image of the face and then an image of just the scarf. Okay, so that means you need 2 images per scarf. 7 colors, that means you need about 14 images. You're right, I do need about 14 images. Well, do you plan to use the same images that you use on your website on your Instagram? Sometimes brands say yes, sometimes they say no. To make this example easier, let's say the brand says yes. Right? I'll say, okay, when you drop, what do you plan? How do you plan to use them on Instagram? Well, I plan to use an image to make a carousel of all the different ones. Okay. Well, that means you need about. Actually, let me not use that because that's not an exact. I'm using the example purposes, but I want to use an actual client. So my client yesterday, she needed 2 images per color. It's 7 scarves. That's 14 images. Okay. So with that being said, I have a package that comes with 5 images, which is $1,000. That wouldn't work for her. I have a package that comes with 10 images, which is $1,300. That could work for her, but she would have to purchase an additional 4 images, and my images price is $150 per image, which means she would spend an extra $600, which would put her at $1,900. Or she can upgrade and get a 20 image package, which would be $2,300 for a photo shoot session. And guess what? We came to the conclusion that she either needs to get my gold package or my platinum package. And guess what all that was? Selling. I didn't tell the client what to do. I just asked the client a series of questions that helped them come to their own conclusion on their own, not my conclusion, their conclusion, which allowed them to make the decision on how many images they needed. I didn't have to pressure her to pay for extra package. None of that. She paid for the package that she wanted. And all I did was guided her to that package. So if you look at selling as serving and not as forcing, then your business will make money. Let me give you an example as a shoot and burn photographer. When really you can use the same example for IPS. Let me use the example as a shoot and burn photographer. So let's say you have a client come in, they already purchased a package, right? Let's say you're doing a graduation photo shoot. You can ask the client the same thing. What do you plan to do with your graduation photos after? Well, I want to post them on Instagram. Okay, do you only want to post one on Instagram? Or do you want to post multiple? Like, how many do you see? Well, I typically see about 3 to 5 in my carousel. Now, peep this. If you sell a graduation photographer package with 3 images and she wants 5 of them, well, you would tell her, okay, with the package you have, you get 3, so you just need to add the other 2. Oh, okay, that's no problem. I'm down to do that because that's what I want to do. Okay, let's add another one in there. Let's say she also says that, hey, I want to frame these up in my house. Well, I want to ask her, is the same image that you put in your house the same image that you want to post on Instagram? Most of the time, the client is going to say no, which means they need a extra edit on top of the 3 they get, on top of the other 2 that they're going to buy. So that's 3 extra edits. Okay, so you're going to have a package with 3 edits, and then you're going to be able to buy 3 more. It's going to bring your total to this. Which card would you like to use? Would you like to move forward with that transaction? Okay, selling is a service.
And
If you guys will get out of your brain that selling is forcing or selling is salesy, you will in return make more money as a portrait photographer because guess what? You will be guiding people, helping them make the decision that they already want to make anyways, and in return, they will spend more money with you. Okay? So, the three things to do
is number one, change the model, go from shoot burn to IPS. Number two, change the market.
who you target will allow you to make more or less money. And number three, you need to change your mindset and reframe it to understand that selling is not salesy, selling is not forcing, selling is serving. Okay, and once you do all of that, you will be able to make one step closer to having your first $1,000 day, but also, in general, being able to make more money faster so you can do more stuff with the people you love the most. Okay, so this episode was sponsored by the Certified Photographers membership. It is a membership where I am helping photographers become a go-to photographer in their niche within their city. We do monthly portfolio workshops. I bring on special guests to do monthly masterclass, and I put a whole bunch of tools, templates, resources, even a full course coming soon of how to become the go-to photographer inside of there. So you guys can become the go-to photographer within your niche. At the time we're recording this video, it's $9 a month. It will grow and expand as we add more resources and get more feedback on what to do inside of there. But just click the link in the description below, and you can join us to be on there. And I will catch you guys on the next live episode. Peace.
All right, check. Let's see who is on. What's up, you guys?
I'm gonna open up the floor for Q&A before we stop the live as well. I'm gonna open up the floor for Q&A. We're talking about making 1K a day as a photographer. So what questions do you have about anything that I talked about when it comes to making 1K a day, having your first $1,000 day as a photographer? What questions do you have? You can drop it in the chat. Drop it in the chat below and I can tap in and get it from you. Okay? Drop it in the chat below. Or hop on here and you will be able to call in and listen in as well. So let's see, we're gonna wait for the chat to come in. I'll stay on maybe about 15 more minutes, depending on how this goes. Yeah, 15 more minutes. Okay, someone said, on the Instagram side of things, what would you say helped you bring in the most inbound leads? On the Instagram side of things, what helped me bring in the most leads was creating a portfolio building campaign which consisted of me doing a giveaway for a free $1,000 beauty branding session. But in order to win the session, you had to enter in your name, number, email, and answer a few qualifying questions. So me doing a portfolio building campaign, a PBC as I call it, allowed me to take people off of Instagram to my website, convert them as a lead, and then those people from there entered the giveaway. One person won. I did the photo shoot for that person. She ended up spending about $555 from a free shoot by purchasing additional images because of my business model, like we talked about. And then from there, I called everybody else and got on the phone with them. Well, I set up a phone call with everybody else who didn't win the giveaway. And I have the data right here as well. So I did 15 sales calls.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
14 of those people showed up.
1, 2, 3. 3 of those people,
Booked the photo shoot.
and I have everything tracked.
Right here. Inside of my community, if you comment the word or DM me the word community, I'll send you the link. I can include this portfolio building campaign tracker sheet
Inside of the community, so you guys can have it.
when you go to do your portfolio building campaign as well. Okay. So on the Instagram side of things, what allowed me to get the most leads was doing the portfolio building campaign. He said that's a beautiful sales closing skills, man. I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
I actually learned that from
Alex Hermosin's $100 million
Money Models book. I learned
that from there. And what I'm planning to
to do is
teach the photographers within my community how to do a portfolio building campaign themselves and get paid to build their portfolio. Because a lot of people think that
building your portfolio is about a lot of people think that you can't
can't make money doing
free shoots, but you actually can make money doing free.
free shoots.
Okay, you actually,
Actually deliver the free shoot.
but then once again, if you understand that selling is
Serving,
what you
you do is you offer people additional images based on what they need. And that allows you to make more.
more money.
Makes sense? So I'm jumping in between both chats because
My YouTube,
YouTube chat pops up on my streaming software,
but my
Instagram chat doesn't. So we'll take about 9 more minutes of questions. If you're on YouTube, drop in the chat what your questions are. I would love to see what your questions are on YouTube.
we're talking about how to
Have
have
your first
1K day as a photographer. I broke down what I did.
did to do so.
On a previous call, you can watch the replay to hear what happened.
As well.
But then also,
Also on Instagram,
you guys have any
questions on Instagram as well. You can ask your questions there and I'll take them while we're on here.
All right, just got a question in on the chat. Somebody said this was.
So good.
I
Appreciate you so much. I wish you could call in.
because I would love to answer your questions live right now. But what question do you have, or what was your top takeaway from this conversation?
From this conversation. And then if you are on Instagram or YouTube Live, and you guys have any more questions, we're gonna rock and roll for about, I would say 9
more minutes.
9 more minutes. And you guys, so I want to share with y'all while I'm waiting on the questions to come in. I have an idea.
So, do you
You
guys
guys know who Kai Cenat is, the streamer? So Kai Cenat did this streaming thing where he did like a marathon. It was
like a streaming marathon? Let me look up what it is.
is. Kai Cenat
Streaming marathon. He did this thing called the Mafia-thon.
and the Mafia-thon is where he basically streamed
For
I don't even know
how long?
he streamed for a long time with so many different people. And he brought on different special guests and they did special interviews and things like that. I was sitting here thinking to myself,
what if I did my version of a mafia-thon? What if I did a edit-a-thon or a retouching-a-thon? To where I get a fire photographer who
is a graduation photographer,
a birthday photographer, a beauty photographer,
a birthday, birthday, beauty, graduation, maternity photographer, like maternity newborn, family photographer,
that's probably from that.
maternity newborn family.
What if I got a photographer? I got like, let's say I had like 5 to 8 photographers, y'all.
And I literally did a full day's worth, like 8 hours worth of editing, like an edit-a-thon. How do y'all feel about that? Drop in the chat below if we should do something like that. Like a full 8-hour edit-a-thon day with the top photographers from all around the world. I get them in all the categories, and they literally come on and edit
a photo for like a hell,
like they edit a lot. Someone said definitely how you broke it down makes so much sense as charging for the session than doing the collection package. It was a 30-day stream, I believe. That's a lot of work. Yeah, it was a
30-day stream, wasn't it? Mine would not be 30 days, though. It would be like 8 hours.
And I would have the top photographers come edit on live for 8 hours straight. That's what I'm thinking about.
Got about 4 more
minutes of questions
before we go ahead and clock out.
4 more minutes of questions before we go ahead and clock out. I have to figure out how to see my Instagram chat on the side. I don't think they have it to where you can see your Instagram chat on the side on my streaming service. Four more minutes before we go ahead and clock up out of here. I'm taking questions. From Instagram and from YouTube Live before we go ahead and clock out of here. How often do you plan on doing these lives, dropping knowledge and Q&As? So, that's a great question. I currently have a community. It's called the Certified Photographers Community. Let me actually add the link to that community here.
And inside that community
is where like the monthly master classes and stuff like that happens. It's only $9 a month at the time of us talking right now. So I plan to do stuff in the community, but I also plan to do stuff on live, YouTube Live. So how I plan to do it is, let's say I do
a whole editing marathon with a bunch of different photographers. That editing marathon will be free.
The editing marathon will be free. Like that retouching summit will be free, but the presets and all the editing files, retouching files and stuff will be only available to the community members, like as VIP.
So I plan to do this often.
I actually thought about doing one tomorrow, bro. I thought about doing one tomorrow. How often do you feel like I should do that?
remember Instagram had
this feature where you can attach
attach a link.
But I just attached
Attach the link, which is the coolest thing ever.
But
How often do you feel like
we should do these videos and stuff? Twice to
3 times a week would be good?
Okay. I like that. For sure. So, Mo Shotty, you want to close us out with one more question before I go ahead and end our stream today? Or anybody on my YouTube live want to close us out with one more question before I end
the
stream
today?
If you guys don't have any other questions,
I'll just go ahead and close this out.
appreciate you, bro. Well, they'll
Be
be
unscripted and
unplanned.
as of right now. But as we get more consistent and more people show up, I'll start treating it like my TV show and I'll start
Popping up.
more often. But I want you to reach out to me too. I want you to reach out to me. Because I want to connect with you and see how I can help you out, bro. So I
Appreciate you guys
popping on. I'll catch you on the next
next live stream.
Peace.